You are now listening to the BV Mobile Apps Podcast, the show designed to spotlight clients using BV mobile apps and to hear testimonies about their experiences with the brand. Now, here's your host, Sean Garvey.
What's going on, everybody? It's the architect himself, Sean Garvey, and welcome to another special edition of the BV Mobile Apps Podcast. If you are new to the podcast, this is the show in which we talk to some of the most amazing clients under the BV Mobile Apps Podcast brand, and we are talking to them about their experiences using their app through BV Mobile Apps. Glad you can join us this day. All right. And we're going to give you more information about BV mobile apps later on in the podcast. But first, I want to welcome a great DJ who is on the telephone lines with us today. He is a member of the Nerve DJs and Fleet DJs. He's also on FM radio in Oklahoma. Shout outs to the people out there in Oklahoma. And he is the host of the Pop Off Party Mix. We're going to find out more information about that and then some. Joining with us on the phone lines is the one and only DJ Raver. DJ Raver, what's going on?
Yes. What's going down? What's going down?
Yo, it's going down 2019. I know it's a great year for you, man. How is everything? Are you living the best life? Are you living the best life right now?
I woke up breathing this morning, so it's got to be great. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be great.
That's all that matters, man. And we're excited to have you on the line. And I know you have some great things to talk about BV mobile apps, and that's why we're here.
Yes.
How long have you been a DJ, DJ Raver?
Oh, gosh. It seems like since I was very, very little. I remember, just to give a quick little background, I really feel like I didn't have no choice but to grow up in music because my both of my parents were very, very musically talented. My dad played the drums all the time, and my mom played piano. So as kids, we started waking up in the morning, hearing that. That was like one of the first things we heard in the morning. So I started really my DJ career, started making my first remixes when I was about 13. Back in those days, long time ago, reel-to-reel tapes was still big, so my dad showed me how to do all the cutting and slicing and putting it together and how to erase it and all that stuff. So it was quite an experience on learning how to do all that stuff like by hand. A lot of stuff now is like computer generated, but back then everything was by hand. So I started there, and I remember telling my parents I wanted to be a DJ for the first time when I was about 13, 14. And so they bought me a turntable, which anybody remembers, one of them turntables that kind of sat on top of the tuner, that kind of sat on top of the cassette deck. So one of those old school ones. And the first record they bought me was Lionel Richie, Dancing on the Ceiling. That was the first record that they bought me to play around with. And I was like, what is this? But, I made it work, though. I made it work. So I've been, on the road and throughout my time in the military DJing everywhere that I can. So
I want to.
Now here we are 30-plus years later.
Yeah, I want to piggyback on something because you made it very clear that your mother and your father were musically inclined. And the first album that they got for you was Lionel Richie. There had to be some other albums that you came up on as a kid besides Lionel Richie. What were some of the other albums that your mom and your dad had in their crate or had in their box besides Lionel Richie?
Oh, gosh, there was a lot of Shaka Khan and Earth, Wind and Fire, and a lot of the old school disco tracks. My dad had records like everywhere. So of course we all fishing through them as kids, and Earth, Wind and Fire was probably like one of the biggest groups back towards the end of the disco days, really. So I got a chance to experience all of that young stuff. So I feel like I grew up probably like in the best time music wise. Just going through all those different experiences, especially with the change of equipment and all this stuff during that time. So that was a lot.
You are originally from Cleveland, Ohio. What was it like growing up in Cleveland?
Growing up in Cleveland sometimes was pretty rough. It was a rough neighborhood. I remember as a youngster, all of our family pretty much lived like right next to each other, just on a separate street. So, going to school even, our cousins, older cousins, because I was one of the younger ones at the time, always walked into school, so nobody would be alone going to school. It was quite an experience growing up because it was pretty difficult, and you got to learn a lot, sometimes the hard way, about how people are in society, how they can be. Vehicles stolen and breaking in houses, it was all that. So growing up, you kind of had to learn those things quickly on how to protect yourself. So it helped me to this day, though. So it's something that I always remember and think back to. Every time I have a chance to go back to Ohio, I always make it a point to drive around the old hood, just for, in memory's sake. Remember where we came from, and the better life that our parents always strove to give us. So when we finally moved out of that area, it was like night and day. But our parents, I had some really great parents. They always were very protective and, always tried to give us a better life all the time.
Would it be fair to say that DJing and music saved your life?
I would definitely say that. One real quick experience. I used to, when I was growing up, I always listened to this one particular mix show on the radio. I couldn't miss it. It was called a club style show, and they were like my motivation on being a DJ. I used to listen to these guys like all the time. Never knew who they were, but I always made it a point that I set my little tape recorder ready to record every time it came on. And just to show how things come around full circle, it turns out that one of those DJs that I used to listen to all the time, it goes by the name of DJ Johnny O. And for anybody that knows DJ Johnny O, he happens to be the CEO of Nerve DJs. So fast forward now, 20-some years later, and always remembering the people you used to listen to, they were like, that was like a shock and awe to me, to finally meet him, not knowing at the time who he really was. And so that was that was quite an experience. It was almost like meeting one of your favorite favorite artists and everything. So
fast forward to now, you in radio, which is astonishing as a DJ. It's a lot of DJs. There's always been a lot of DJs in radio, and right. One of your favorite DJs happens to be DJ Red Alert. I remember DJ Red Alert. When you talk about DJ Red Alert, you got to mention WBLS. You got to mention WBLS. You know what I mean? So how did you fall into that profession of not only being a DJ but also being in radio?
The very first time I had an experience as a DJ with radio is when I was stationed in during my time in the military, when I was stationed in Germany. And so there happened to be a German rap artist that I had one of his records, and I wound up doing a remix of his record. My daughter was always like my biggest fan with music, so everything I did, she always listened to. And she told me that, Dad, that's the one that you need to take to the radio station. You take to the radio station. So I took it over to the radio station, not really expecting anything, but I took it there anyway, just because my daughter was bugging me about it, for one. And then plus two, I was like, hey, why not? Take a shot. And a week went past, I didn't hear anything. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month went past. I'm like, ain't nobody going to listen to that thing. Probably about a month and a half later, I got a phone call from a German radio station, and they wanted to bring me in to interview me. And I told my daughter, and she like just about flipped out. And so that was really my first time experience with radio, doing interviews with them. And after I came back from Germany, I got stationed here in the States, and I actually started DJing for a radio station in Wichita Falls, Texas, 103.9. So that's how the whole radio station thing started up. And then from my time of traveling and going around meeting people, you know, I just word of mouth and connections with people that I meet on different road trips, and just kind of started adding one by one.
From the mean streets of Cleveland to your radio days and meeting all the great people that you came a long way, that's just only half of the story. And for those who are just tuning in right now to the BV Mobile Apps podcast, we have the one and only DJ Raver on the telephone lines. He's on the phone lines with us to not only talk about his experiences as a DJ, as a radio person, as a radio DJ, but also his partnership with BV Mobile Apps. And that's what it's all about, is bringing people to your app. So not only that they can learn more about DJ Raver, but also see what you have to offer. Now, there's different types of DJs that are out there. You have your trap DJs, you have your boom bap DJs. And you have a certain unique sound. You have a certain unique sound as a DJ. Well, break it down to us. What kind of sound do you put out there to your followers, to your audience?
See, I believe that everybody always has like their own preference on what they like to listen to in their own time. But the way I think about it is when I'm out DJing for other people, that's not my own time. It's about them. So the luxury of being able to DJ in all these different locations is that you really have to pay attention to who you DJing for. You always want to be yourself, but I grew up listening to a lot of 80s electronic dance music, you know, so like the Soul Sonic Force of the world and the Kraftwerk and the Art of Noise, you know, that was a big influence for me. So I always had like an electronic influence growing up. So with the styles of music that you learn throughout my lifetime, everything seems to kind of go around in a circle. You'll get to a different place, and then all of a sudden there'll be music to come around that's influencing what already happened way back when. So when I DJ for people, you have to be able to use all your experiences to make sure that the flow of the crowd is going good. So, and that's being able to recognize who is out there on the dance floor. You always want to take chances on playing maybe like a certain record just to see what the reaction is going to be. But you have to be able to mix all those things together. So it's not just about trap music. It's not just about dance music. There's a flow that you have to learn how to do in order to get all of those things wrapped up in a circle and present it to everybody. So no matter who's there, everybody's going to have some type of enjoyment. So I'm always looking around to see what's going on around me. It's just like when you drive. You never drive just straight looking ahead. You have to see what's around you that's going to affect what you're doing at that moment.
Okay.
So that's how I've always learned how to DJ.
No matter what kind of DJ you are, whether you got vinyl, whether you rocking Serato, you got to move with the crowd. You got to make
exactly.
You got to make it do what it do.
You know, like I say, just keeping an open mind. There's a whole lot of songs that I play throughout the night that I don't particularly like. But like I say, I'm not playing for myself that night. I'm playing for the people.
DJ Raver on the BV Mobile Apps podcast with yours truly, the architect Sean Garvey. How did you hear about BV Mobile Apps?
Well, I've been, of course, as you know, and some other people know, I'm a part of different DJ coalitions. Nerve DJs happens to be one of them. And the first time I heard about you guys was actually on our Nerve DJs conference call. This was a little while back. I'd say probably about a little over 2 years now. And you guys were on our call, and you described to us about the BV mobile apps. And of course, you know, I'm not gonna lie. When you hear like new things like that, you're kind of skeptical about it until, you know, you find out all the information. So that takes a lot of research on your own and seeing what people are all about. And so I was like, hey, like I do a lot of times, let's take a shot, see what happens. And I wound up getting my own app. It was actually pretty simple because most of the work of, if not all of it, of putting it together was on you guys. Mm-hmm. And so you made it a lot easier for, one, for the app to get up and running, and two, just the accessibility on being able to work it is just, you really can't get no simpler. It's just a matter of the individual just applying it and using it.
How has having your own mobile app impacted your career as a DJ?
Oh, it's been great. It's I originally started out with the website, but after getting my app and really working it, I'm like, you know what? Everybody has a phone in their hand, and they like accessibility, like quick. So I'm able to get everything that I'm doing at the push of a button out to everybody that has the app. So it's like sending a mass text message to everybody that you have in your phone. Right. And in this case, everybody that's downloaded the app, so they can see exactly what I'm doing. So on a promotion basis, you really are able to keep in contact with people that stay in touch with you and show them exactly what you're doing. So it's been a great help just by having the app, because I still come into contact with people now. You know, I tell them that I'm a DJ, and I hand them a card and tell them to go to my app. They're like, "Oh, you're a real DJ." It's you know, who don't have an app on their phone now? Right. So it's really quite simple. You know, I always want to give the people access to what you're doing, and so everybody can see it in just the push of a send button. You know, so I'll constantly have people hit me up. Hey, I seen your app. You know, I see that you're going to be DJing, and, you know, they see at a certain place and, you know, the radio stations that I DJ for. So it's a great communication purpose and a promotion outlet on using the app.
Can they also listen to the pop-off party mix or other radio endeavors that you are currently engaged in?
Yeah, so not only am I able to send different flyers of the stations, some of the stations that I DJ on, those stations are actually located on my app. So now I can tell anybody that has a cell phone right in their hand, hey, I'm on this particular station at such and such time. And then what I like to do is, you know, every one of these stations go by pretty quick. So what I'm able to do is hook up my Mixcloud app, which also has my mix shows on there, and my Podomatic app right through my app on anybody's phone. So you can simply go to my app, and not only are you able to listen to actual radio stations, but now you have an opportunity to, hey, I might have missed such and such show at this time, so now I can go back and listen to it. And it's all connected through my app, through the different podcasts that I have for my mixes.
You know what would be really cool to see on an app like yours is a DJ in the kitchen. He can bring in a turntable set, put it on the kitchen counter, do his thing on the set, spin some records, turn around and cook some eggs or make some chicken at the same time. That would be cool to put a video like that, put it together, and put it on the app. How about that? Can we make that happen?
As long as I can get some scrambled eggs. As long as I don't mind me eating scrambled eggs. I'm a big fan of scrambled eggs in the morning. So, but yeah, you know, anything, and that's just another way of showing how you're able to do so many different things with this app. You know, so it's always a great way to have people put an eye on you, on what you're doing. It kind of makes them feel like they're a part of your movement.
Where can I get the app? How can I download the app?
Well, the first thing I'm going to tell them right off the bat is to make sure that when they go online to get this app is that they put me down as their reference.
we know what that is about.
$45 referral. You know, that's the first thing I'm going to do. So not only are you able to get your own app, but the more you talk to people, you know, you can get some referral money for yourself by other people getting the app. So what you would do is go on to www.blackvibes.com. If you go onto that website, it'll take you through the account information. And I believe now, actually, when you go up on there, there's a little pop-up that comes on the side just in case you want to do a chat, just to get some more information about it. And you can also go to my app by going to www.blackvibes.com/DJ Raver, DJRAVER. And so when you go on there, you'll put all your personal information in there. You'll put your email. If you're a DJ, you can also put like your Audio Mac. You can also put your Mixcloud, any outlets that you use for your mixes to be linked to your app. If you're an artist, you can also do the same thing and have your particular songs that you're promoting on your app. So that's why I say it's a great way to not only show people what you're doing, but constant promotion and letting people see things and being able to have access and listen to it. So I've had my app now for about, I want to say close to 3 years. And it's been like one of the best investments I've ever had. And like I said, it's real simple. All you do is get in contact with the guys. The phone number is on there, email to send to you guys in order to get things up and running. And 3 days later, just about, it was up and going. I was like, wow, that's pretty easy. And I like it that it's so easy, not just easy to use, but it's easy to understand. I'm not the most computer literate person in the world, but everything is plain and simple out on the website on exactly what information is needed, and then you can always have different things added onto your app.
All the information, just to reiterate what you said, all the information is on the app in case someone wants to contact you to book you for an event, party, etc. Besides the app, how can people get in contact with you?
Well, of course, through social media. That's like one of the easiest ways to get in contact with people now. So you can always go to all my social media pages are the same: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Mixcloud, everything. Just go to at DJ Raver X1, at DJ RAVER X, the number 1. And like I say, you can go to that on any social media page and either DM me or send me a message on Facebook. And also on the app, it has my personal information on there as far as phone number and everything too. So there's always different ways. And like I said, everything's the same, DJ Raver X1 on all social media.
DJ Raver on the telephone lines, bringing it all down to you about his app that you can go download and get in your life right now. All right, so before we let you go, DJ Raver, we like to do this thing to all of our clients calling in to the BV Mobile Apps podcast. And this part of the show is called Fun Facts. We want to know a little bit about you or things that a lot of people may not know about you. So I want to switch it up just a little bit. And I'm going to hit you with some questions, okay? About yourself.
All right, sounds good.
All right. You are in a boat and you have your favorite 2 DJs in the boat with you. That's Terminator X and Mix Master Ice. Both of them fall out of the boat and they are about to drown. Which one would you save first? Terminator X or Mix Master Ice?
Oh, my goodness. Wow. I'm going to say, just because he was probably one of my, well, he's definitely my favorite of the 2. Yeah, that's going to be Terminator X.
Terminator X.
Public Enemy.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, okay. So you're gonna.
I would have to choose Terminator X. Yeah, he was his mixing style and scratching style. I still try to emulate and do to this day. It was great. So that was a great learning tool for me. Yeah. So I have to say Terminator X.
Okay. So we're gonna terminate the other one, and we're gonna stick with Terminator X. Okay. All right. Yep. Let's do it. Let's do another one. All right. So it has been known that you drove 17 hours from Oklahoma. Right?
Down to Atlanta. Yep.
To the ATL. Okay. What other place in America would you travel for 17 hours besides Atlanta? What other place in America?
Oh, gosh. Actually, it would be anywhere. If it's going to be that long, it would have to be... There's not really too many places I wouldn't travel to. Because obviously, if I'm going that far, there's something real important going on. So if it's that important to drive 17 hours, then the location is not going to matter. It's just going to depend on the event that's going on. But I'm getting a little older now, so I'm trying to do more of that frequent flyer mile thing going on. So I'm trying to get the miles up on the airplane, because that 17 hours of drove down there before, that kind of hurt.
Yeah, that's a lot of gas. That's a lot of gas. But you know,
that hurt me, because I turned around I left that same night and drove back.
Wow.
That's why it hurt so bad. But it was an important event. It was a Nerve DJs event we had going on down there. So, yeah, I had to make the trip.
Yeah.
And that was my first time being to Atlanta at the time, so I had to go.
Yeah. And the ladies in Atlanta, I can see why you would do that 17-hour drive for the women, for the ladies.
Yeah.
Do it for the culture.
Exactly.
Do it for the culture.
Yeah. You can always blame it on the culture. Yep.
Fun facts right here on BV Mobile Apps Podcast with yours truly, Sean Garvey. I know you got to go, DJ Raver, but it's been real. It's been great having you on the telephone lines. Congratulations on your partnership with BV Mobile Apps. We are so glad that you are a part of the family, and wish you more endeavors in your DJing career. You do your thing, man. All right?
All right. I appreciate it. And like I said, BV Mobile Apps, that's the way to go. The promotion and all your stuff done for everybody to be able to see at an instant. BV Mobile Apps. What
day and time can people check out the Pop-Off Mix show?
Well, for that's the best way to check it out, is to see what times it's on. Actually, the Pop-Off Party Mix is actually right now syndicated on close to 30 stations.
Wow.
So that's why it's important to keep up with the app, so you can see the different flyers on there.
Hey.
They literally run Wednesday through Wednesday, so they're on a very vast amount of different stations between that time. So it's a weekly mix show. But if you download the app and go to the DJ Raver app on your smartphone, don't matter if it's iTunes, Amazon, or Android, you can always check it out, the different flyers on there, so you can see what's the best time for you to listen to it.
DJ Raver, appreciate you. Thank you so much for calling into the BV Mobile Apps Podcast. All right, this has been yours truly, Sean Garvey. Make sure you download the Beat Break 87 FM app as well. Don't only just download DJ Raver's app. Make sure you download Beat Break 87 FM app to your smartphone and other mobile devices, so you can check out my morning show, the Beat Break Morning Show, 6 to 10 a.m. Monday through Fridays on Beat Break 87 FM. And if you want more information, if you have any questions and feedback about the show, hit us up with an email. Send us an email, podcast@bvmobileapps.com. That's podcast@bvmobileapps with an S at the end.com. Until then, we will talk to you all later. Peace.
Thank you for listening to the BV Mobile Apps Podcast. Visit the website bvmobileapps.com. Follow BV Mobile Apps on social media at BV Mobile Apps. Until next time, have a great day.
Starting it over, starting the day.